I'm Sushma Patel. I am a professional architect and urban designer, an academic at the Tshwane University of Technology, and a researcher. I was selected to be on the jury of the SIRE Awards as a representative of academia. Some of my key reflections on the work could be summarized in 4 or 5 points. The first one being that it was well observed that only 10% of the work submitted comes from public sector, which leaves 90% of the work submitted is from private development. And so this poses quite an extraordinary position that we are in, where the fraternity really needs to consider how private development needs to significantly contribute to conceptions of the public realm. As architects, we are being summoned to respond to economic downturns, energy instability, as well as climate challenges. However, this is insufficient if we are not considering aspects of social sustainability, which is related to the public realm. And so private sector needs to very seriously consider these aspects when engaging with buildings of sustainable quality for the future. One of the positive aspects of the submissions has been that almost or roughly 50% of all submissions are dealing with existing buildings, refurbishments, alterations, additions to buildings. This presents a really significant aspect in terms of sustainability, in terms of responding to aspects of climate change and energy instability. And in terms of the future, I think that more and more as architects we would need to move in this direction. We would need to really begin to consider the immateriality of architecture. A key trend that was identified are conceptions of exclusivity, of building for global capital, of perhaps the inadaptability of the use of concrete and aspects of a defensive architecture. I think these are aspects that we need to be cautioned by in terms of future development. Aspects of exclusivity and inadaptability of buildings and defensive architecture create barriers to transformation and social sustainability. Economic and environmental sustainability cannot be addressed in isolation. The triad of social, economic, and environmental sustainability need to work in tandem. While density and increased housing close to amenities is resolutely required, the exclusivity and inadaptability of it requires rethinking. A final observation is that less than 10% of entries were received from Black architects. This is concerning in terms of transformation, in terms of social sustainability, sustainability of the profession, as well as when looked at in terms of the intersection of private development, which is majority at 90%, intersecting with minority of Black architects really creates a climate of unsustainability in the profession. I'd like to end by mentioning that South African architects are at the forefront of innovation globally in terms of their craft, in terms of their mastery, in terms of efficiency of resources, of aspects of climate, energy considerations, etc. I am deeply, deeply moved by most of the submissions that we have seen. They are well received, and I would like to congratulate all of the awardees.